so we're following the steps here. The step 5 is the experimentation step. The step 5 says experiment. That's optional but recommended. And what I mean by experiment is once you make the clipping mask, you can target the image, you can move it around inside to reposition it. You could change the clipping mask by selecting the clipping mask. See how it's selected? Now it's selected on the top level of the clip group because you see the target is on the top level. And you could right click and release the clipping mask if you want. Now everything gets reshuffled and the line design is still on top though, but it does not have its stroke anymore. So it's harder to see. You might be alarmed and think that it's gone, but it's there. You can hover over it and then select it. And then I can try a different type of clipping mask. I could put a path inside of a path. So there is a rectangle here that you could try that out with. You can hold down the command key and target the path, the rectangle path. And now I've got the path line design that I created that's on top selected with the path that's on the bottom. And I can use command 7 and make the clipping mask like that. But it makes more sense to put the image inside of the shape, right? So I'm going to release that again. Now it's reordered again in the stack of objects here. And I'll target or I'll select by clicking on my line design, and I'm going to hold, this time I'm going to hold shift and click my image. Now if you see in the layer panel, it's targeted. Selecting with your selection tool by clicking directly on your objects is the same thing as if you were to target using the circles in your layer panel. So I've got these two items selected and command 7 to make the clipping mask. And now I've got the clip group again. So that's all you need to move on to the next one. I could save that here, but I'm going to do a save as because I want to save according to the assignment instructions. So I'm going to move on to step 6, which is save and name your work for credit. So at this point when you're done, you can save the PDF, save it as a PDF and name it properly. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to name this my last name, first initial, the way that it says to name it in the instructions. Name it your last name, first initial dash pen X, and then the number that you've done the number that you've done this in, whatever order that you're doing these in. So so I think this is my second one. I did make a another folder. Let me see where I have it. I used the new folder button and I made a folder inside of my folder, but outside of the week 4 folder, inside of my main folder. I made a folder that I named Pen Tool Finals, where I'm going to be saving my finished ones. And here's a quick trick. Instead of having to retype out your name every time, you can just go to your finished folder, if you made a finished folder, and click on one of the one of the items that you have in there that's named properly. And look, it gave my it gave the one that I'm naming right now the same name as the one I clicked on. But I want to name this a little differently. I want to change the 1 to a 2 because this is my second one that I'm done. So now I have last name, first initial dash pen X2. And I want it to be a PDF, so I'm going to change the format here to PDF. And then click Save. And save PDF here, just accept the settings. And then close this. And then I'm going to move on to the next one. You guys ready for, it looks like you guys are ready for the flames. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to go File, Open, and go out of here and go to my folder. Go into my Week 4 pen tool. Go to Pen Tool X Files. I'm going to open up Flames. Open up Flames. Is this a closed path or an open path? Closed path, that's right. Alright, so we're going to start with our pen tool. Turn off the fill. Go to Properties. I'm going to make the stroke weight 3 points. And doesn't matter where you start. You can start anywhere you'd like. I'm going to start on this bottom left side here. I'm going to start with a click because I see a straight line here. So just a click to start with. I can hold shift to make a perfect vertical line and shift click here. And now I see a curve. So what can I do to make a curve come out of this point? I can just click and drag a handle, right? And lay it down along the side of the curve. Now I have a curve line coming out. And so this handle is already taking care of this curve. So I could get a little ambitious and jump to the next curve, maybe up here. Click and drag into that curve. But then this handle wasn't long enough to pull this curve enough. So I can hold the Command key and tug this handle up to pull it into place, to pull the path into place. Like a marionette puppet. Oh, I want to show you something. There is a preference in Illustrator. If you go to Illustrator Preferences, to turn off, you can turn off the rubber band. When I was learning Illustrator, I didn't learn how to use the pen tool with this rubber band that's following my cursor. And when Adobe started making the rubber band be a default option, it was annoying to me because I didn't like the way this rubber band followed my cursor everywhere. But I started to realize how beneficial it is. But I just want to show you what it's like to use the pen tool without the rubber band. So if you don't like it, it's a preference. You can turn it off. We go to Illustrator Preferences. I think it's under Selection and Anchor Display. That's right. So it's here. Enable rubber band for the pen tool and the curvature tool. If we don't want the rubber band, we can uncheck and then say OK. And now I don't have that rubber band. So I don't see that gap of space. I kind of just have to guesstimate. And I have to take note if I see the sparkle or not to make sure that I'm in continuing mode. So I don't see the sparkle, so that means the pen tool is going to be ready to continue. Then I can click and drag here, and good for me, I happen to choose a good place. Just without the rubber band, you have to guesstimate more. It's a little harder. So I prefer to use the rubber band because I think it's helpful. But just showing you how to work without it. I'm going to use the spacebar, move down. And what I'm doing is I'm still using the same logic. I just don't have that rubber band as an extra guide to help me. So I'm still spotting my curves and thinking, oh, I got to move a little past the curve to give myself that gap of drag room and click and drag. And as soon as I start clicking and dragging, then I can see the path appear. And I can see, oh yeah, I have that drag room. And you can also use the space bar to move where you're placing your point. So if you were a little off, you could adjust the point positioning one way or another while you're holding the space bar. When you release the space bar, then you've locked the point into place. And then I'm going to drag that guide over here And here, it's so weird without the rubber band. Now, I think I'm going to put it back. I like it. So I'm going to go back to Preferences, Selection, and Anchor Display. And then turn on the rubber band. Okay, I like the rubber band. I missed it. I'm going to do Command plus to zoom in here. So here, I could just click because this handle's pulling this curve so far already. I don't really need to click and drag. So I could just click here for a corner. But then maybe I've got a straight line coming out of this point. So I could just drag a handle out so that it's going to be pulling a curve out of the point. And now because I have this handle here, I could skip to, this handle here is covering this curve. So I could skip to my next curve down here. Also, along the way, if I want, I can hold down the Command key and adjust as I go, dragging on handles to pull the path in to fall into place where it should. I'm going to skip this curve, move on to this curve, click and drag. If I hold down Command, I can tug this handle down to pull this curve into place down and then move on. So this handle is taking care of this curve. So I move to my next curve. Here's my next curve. Click and drag into the curve. There we go. Find my next curve, go a little past it, give it that gap. For drag room, click and drag. Here I'll go all the way to the corner. This time I'm going to do a click and drag right onto the corner. And now I've got this big, rounded, smooth Bezier curve. What do I need to do? I need to hold down what key here? Option. Swing the handle around. And now that handle's pulling the curve. That creates a corner between curves, and this handle's pulling the curve where I want it. So next, I go to my next curve. So I click and drag there. Now I'm a little off here, so I can hold Command, tug that handle up, tug this handle down a little, move up, go to my next curve, a little past it. For that drag room, click and drag into the curve. Past this next curve, click and drag into the curve. I'm going to get ambitious and go all the way to the corner here, click and drag. And then hold Option, swing the handle around. I don't even need to release the mouse. I could just hold Option and swing the handle around in one step. I'm going to hold Command and just make adjustments as I go, dragging on the handles. Some people like to actually drag on the path rather than the handles. For some reason, I always just like adjusting the path by adjusting the handles. But you could actually go directly to the path and drag it one way or another as well. I find that to be a little more awkward, though, myself. That's just me. And here, now I'm just going to keep going. So this already has a handle pulling this curve, so I'm going to move on to this curve, click and drag. Hold Command to pull this handle. Pull this down a little bit. Come down. Let's see, this handle's taking care of this curve pretty good. So there's this other curve, so I click and drag in there. Then go to my next curve, click and drag into that curve. Go past the next curve here, click and drag. So you want to be detecting where those curves are. You don't want to get too ambitious and pass a curve and then be trying to do one click and drag for two curves. Like I didn't do this curve yet, so I should be clicking and dragging into this curve. I shouldn't be over here going, okay, I'm going to try to get this whole shape. No, because this is like taut wire. It could kind of like shoot you out to outer space and you're out there and you don't know what's going on. And this, before you know it, this shot over here, I'm going to not do that. I'm going to undo. If you do kind of miss a curve though, let's say I come over here and I click and drag here, but I forgot I needed a point down here. You could always just add a point. I could just click to add a point, then use my Command key to toggle into my direct selection tool and pull this out. there. With my direct selection tool, you can make these adjustments. I can move the point up a little higher, do this. So this is correcting if you make a mistake. Okay, so that happens sometimes. Okay, then we're going to keep going. So this is already a curve for this curve. So I'm going to go to my next curve here. Or maybe, let me try to get really ambitious and go all the way up to the top corner here and click and drag. I think I can make it. And then I hold down the Option key, Option, swing the handle around. So I have a corner between curves. Past the next curve, click and drag. Past the next curve, click and drag. Past the next curve, or I'll go all the way down to the corner, click and drag. And hold down Option, Option, swing the handle. You can always adjust as you go if things get a little off track. You can hold Command, click on a point, drag on the handles, click on a point, find the handle, drag on it. And if it's just not fitting exactly, you might need to add a point. If it's too wrinkly, you might need to subtract a point. Shorten the handles to tighten those curves up. I'm going to move past this curve, click and drag into this curve, move past this curve, click and drag into this curve. And then you start to get into the swing of it, finding that little gap, lining up to the template line, clicking and dragging into that curve. And noticing which handles are accounting for which curves. I'm going to go to this corner here, click and drag into that corner, holding down Option now to swing the handle around. And then I'm coming down here to my next curve, clicking and dragging into the curve, holding down, I'm going to hold down Command just to tug this handle down to pull that curve in. Okay, then my next curve, so this handle is taking care of this curve that's flaring out, and then there's concave and convex, right? Convex sticking out, right? Concave, like a cave. So here's a concave curve. I'm going to click and drag into it. And the whole concave curve is taken care of with these handles. So I'm going to go to my next curve. It looks like a convex. I'm going to click and drag into this curve. And now I have a curve coming out of this point, but I want this to be a straight line, I think. So I'm just going to click the end to remove the handle and come down, and I'll hold Shift and click there to make a nice straight vertical line. Now I have a straight line meeting at a curve. So here's where I need to pull a handle out of that point like that. Lay down the handle on the side of this curve. Then I'm going to pass this curve and go, maybe I'll just go to this curve here, click and drag into this curve, but I need this handle to be longer, so I'm going to hold Command and tug this handle longer to pull that, and tug this handle longer, see if I can pull that shape. There we go. And then I'm going to go past this next curve here, click and drag into it, laying down my handles, tangent to each curve, go past this next curve, click and drag into it, there we go, past this next curve, click and drag into it to get these shapes, like puzzle piece shapes, clicking and dragging into these curves, clicking and dragging there, coming down here, clicking and dragging into these big wide curves. This handle's a little long because it's pulling that curve down in at an angle I don't want, so I'm going to hold the Command key and shorten the handle here, and then I can pass this next curve here, click and drag into it, click and drag into the curve, past the next curve, click and drag into it. And here I can try to just finish here. I see the circle to close my path. So I click, and I'm not going to stop at just a click. I'm going to click and drag so that I get a handle on this side. There we go. That handle is on just this side of the point. So the other side is still has a straight line coming out of it, but this is a one-handled point, which is what I want here, because you need a one-handled point when you have a point between a curve and a what? Straight line. Okay, so now I did the hard part. Any questions so far? Anyone need help? Yes. I'm gonna make adjustments. Okay, well, let me finish this one and then I'll come over with some help. And it doesn't have to be exactly perfect to the template. If you got all the way around, good job. No matter how you did it, if you did it your way, good job. Every bit is gonna help, even if you don't do it perfect. The practice is all good. Even if it's messy, it's still good practice. You're still getting some kind of benefit from practicing this tool, whatever you're doing. Okay. All right. So going to follow these steps here. So what are the steps? After you do the hard part, step 1 is the hard part of following that template line with the pen tool. Then you unlock all. So we're memorizing how to unlock all with the keyboard shortcut, right? Option Command 2. So Option Command 2. Oops. 2. Okay, unlocks all. I'm going to open up the layer. Everything that was locked is now selected, so I'm going to deselect and select the template. The template is the one that is targeted now because I clicked on it to select it. So I can press delete. That's the next step. The next step was step 3 was delete the template. Step 4 is make the clipping mask. Oh, look who's hiding under there. Did you see him? It's Jackie Chan.
Helicopter.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. So for this, you just select the line design, hold shift, click the Jackie Chan picture, and whatever way that you like to make a clipping mask. Maybe you like right click, make clipping mask. Maybe you like Command 7. And there we have it. Jackie Chan is in the flames. So then you can open up the clip group, target the image, move Jackie Chan around in there however you like, and you might need to make the image a little bigger to fill the space how you want it. You make it really big, but you lose resolution. But this is just an exercise for learning, so it's okay. It doesn't have to be beautiful. It can be almost beautiful. Okay, so then we're just going to go File and Save As. And put it in your finished folder. If you've got a finished folder, it's a good idea to set your finished files aside in a folder so you have everything organized. Okay, so I'm just going to use my trick to click on one that I have already there in my finished folder, change the number to number 3, and change the format to PDF and save PDF. Then I can close this one and move on to my next one.